Just like William Cullen Bryant, I'm sitting here waiting for my view to somebody's death. Well, figuratively speaking, anyway. Welcome to the Final Wager. I'm Keith Williams, and Thanatopsis is one of those obscure poems that I studied for the Ultimate Tournament of Champions, and lo and behold, it came up in one of Brad Rutter's games. I think it was in the finals, and that was also worth 2,000. So that was very, very nice to yell that one out of the TV, both here and 11 years ago in front of my parents. Such a show off sometimes. So we've got some interesting scores. Again, Susan's leading by 200. When Jerry had just 200 before that last clue, things were a lot more interesting because the tie wager would have actually been possibly appropriate here. But we'll see if Keely learned anything from what Susan did last time. And maybe Susan will tack on that extra dollar and just fool Keely into wagering big. So let's see here. Keely doubles up. That's 28-8, so 14-2 for Susan. I was glad that Keely, when she missed the $1,500 clue, daily double, went back to the $1,500 to leave us with even hundreds, because I much prefer those. Keely, well, for now we'll say she can wager up to 14,000. Jerry can wager up to 1,200. Of course, he'll want to remove a dollar from that just in case Susan goes for 14-2 even. But really, where I'm most concerned is between Keely and Jerry. If Jerry doubles up, yeah, he's gonna have 2,800. So Keely, to stay above that, could wager up to 11-6. That's where she's really gonna want to cap her wager, and she'll want to wager at least 400 to stay above Susan. I guess there's to cover the zero wager, potential $200 wager by Susan. I suppose there are some mind games that could be played here, but really, not too much I'd be concerned with. So let's get rid of those. I built a couple of quick macros, so I don't have to manually delete everything now, which is nice. I had a lot of comments. I enjoyed Susan's Captain's Wheel shirt, but I was surprised she didn't get more of the Under the Sea clues. Trailer Park, that category took me a few clues. I think it was until the fourth clue. Sunday in the Park, or Barefoot in the Park. I was thinking Sunday in the Park with George. Barefoot in the Park to figure out that Park was actually appearing in every clue. That Harry Potter category was just terrible. I didn't get any of them right, and we didn't see the $200 clues, so no one could redeem themselves or himself or herself or whatever form of the pronoun you prefer to take there. I'm actually reading a sci-fi book that is quite liberal in replacing all of the hims and hers and he's and she's with thems and theys, which is kind of fun to see. Oh, wow, we're already back.
Here's the clue. This character says, "Let me then tow to pieces while still chasing thee, though tied to thee." 30 seconds, players. Good luck.
Better have the right one here, because if I'm thinking of the right book in particular, one I just read last year again, this is going to be interesting if I have the right idea.
For hate's sake, I spit my last breath at thee. We come to you first, Jerry. Did you come up with the correct response? You wrote down, who was Melville? You're on the right track. But
I'm not on the right track.
It's going to cost you 1,400. You dropped to zero. Let's go to Keely. She had 14,400. And she picked Frankenstein as the character. No, wrong book. Cost you only 5,000. You're at 9,400.
Final wager.
Susan Cole. Look at that smile, folks. Why? Because she came up with Captain Ahab.
Of course she's going to get it right.
That is the character. Thou damned whale. And you will add
Yeah, see,
a ton of money.
things are getting interesting now, but it's... See, I love when people are just as surprised and excited about winning their third game as they are about winning their first. And Susan's definitely worthy of holding that title again. I went with Frankenstein's Monster because he always compares himself with someone who's attached to Dr. Frankenstein. But I guess it would be very difficult for them to write that clue without people thinking that Frankenstein was actually the name of the monster, and then they'd have a whole letter writing campaign, and Facebook would go wild, and I guess they just don't want to deal with that. So maybe a good rule of thumb is Frankenstein or Frankenstein's Monster is never going to be a Final Jeopardy response. Where else was I intrigued in this game? I enjoyed the back and forth that Keely and Jerry had at the beginning of the second round, where each gave the other an answer. Oh yeah, the round one, Time's Up, was clipped for some reason. I don't know if anyone else knows that, but maybe that's been happening recently, or maybe that was just an editing error. Speaking of editing errors, it felt like Keely's interview segment was cut short for some reason. And also, speaking of smiles, Susan's response of tintinabulation. That's something a librarian would love to say on national television. That's something I would love to say on national television. Something anyone who knows that word would love to say on national television. And where's Frank Spangenberg? Let's bring him back. He was good. I was hoping to get through Monday's game as well right now, but I'm running short on time. I have other things to do, so I guess you can expect that tonight or tomorrow. But thanks for joining me here, and it's the end of the week, so no one will see, well, maybe one holdover from today's taping will see that Susan likes to wager for the tie. Will that play into Monday, or maybe Tuesday, or maybe Wednesday? I don't know. I don't know if she's still around. I do hope so, though. But we'll see you next time right here on the Final Wager.